Mondays are new. Oh, Yorkshire geek got stories for you. Favorite tricks beyond town's grass. Popcorn adventures on time. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fight. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, join those blasts. Trumpet tells, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies and war and stories that fly. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, join those best. Drop the couch, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Lights dim, low screens aglow. Troy takes us where dreams flow. Action heroes, villains, dark night. Every scene, heart still light. Geek myths, giants rise and fall. Time machines, epic brawls. Mondays in blue with geeks light. Fantasy realms to infinite heights.
Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 90 of Magnificent Mondays. And this week we're doing True Lies. I seem to be low down. Am I low down? I don't know, but anyway. So yes, we're doing True Lies. Where's my disc? Where is it? There we go. There it is. There's the old Blu-ray of it. Cool film. I forgot actually. Another one of those films that I'd actually forgot how good it was. But that's what we're reviewing tonight. And Windgrace is here saying, I suppose we'll have to be magnificent today. Yes, we do. We have to be magnificent every day, but especially on a Monday. Anywho, so before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We should be live on the various platforms, YouTube, yeah, Rumble, I'm just checking, yeah, and Twitch, don't know why I do it, yeah. and all that stuff. Explore the description for links for stuff such as merch, which I'm not wearing, I forgot again. Bear with me, hang on. Such as, where is it? Where's the top? There we go. Stuff such as merch. I can't find the camera. Can you see? There we go. What else? My books, which are down here. Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Not that I ever sell any. I sell an occasional one. Like I said, I told you a while back, I got a royalty check for 42 pence a couple of weeks ago. Not a check, royalty payment. Anyway, whatever. And explore loads of other links as well. Become a member, then you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. And super chats and super thanks would be greatly appreciated. Right, so True Lies. Let's have a talk about that before we start going through it. From 1994. Written and directed by James Cameron. He wrote the screenplay based on a movie that I think Arnold Schwarzenegger saw called La Totale, The Total. It does have another name as well, but I can't remember what its other title was. An English title. Not The Total, it was called something else, and I forgot what it was. Never mind. Which was a French film. Which I've not seen, obviously. I imagine it's a bit like True Lies, but different. Probably not as action-packed, I imagine. But, James Cameron, did his own screenplay based on that movie. And how much did it cost? $100 to $120 million. A box office of 378.9. So it did okay. It didn't do amazing. But I think it's one of James Cameron's best films, to be completely honest. One of his most enjoyable films. It's kind of an action comedy, I suppose. It's got light-hearted moments in it, you could say. And it's more like a James Bond film, one of the later James Bond films. I think it's kind of ahead of its time. It came before the Bourne movies, and then the Bond movies tried to be like the Bourne movies. It's kind of a little bit like that. Anywho. What else? Oh, it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Arnold, Bill Paxton, Art Malik, Tia Carrera, Grant Heslov, and a very young Eliza Dushku, and a special appearance from Charlton Heston as Spencer Trilby, great name. It has a great musical score from Brad Fiedel, with orchestrations by the late Shirley Walker. I think it's mostly because it's Brad Fiedel, who's known for his synthesizer music, his electronic music. I think it's mostly that, but occasionally there are, regular musicians. It's not like a full orchestra, I don't think, but I think they brought in like a cello player, violinists and all that stuff, tuba and all that stuff, to do some regular music for it, which is why it sounds cool. It's got a cool musical score and a great theme. What else? I think that's about it, really. I don't know if it were up for any Oscars or anything, accolades. We're nominated for Best Visual Effects, but it didn't win. I don't know what won that year. What else? That's about it, really. Golden Globes. Oh, it won. Jamie Lee Curtis won for Best Actress at the Golden Globes. So good for Jamie Lee Curtis. What else? And it won some Saturn Awards. Best Direction, Best Actress, again for Jamie Lee Curtis. I must admit, she's really, really good in this. One of her better roles, because she's very subtle in it. Her expressions are great in it. But you can see what's going on behind her eyes in this film. Anywho, we'll get on with it, shall we? We shall get on with it. Obviously, we're not just going to watch the film because YouTube will go mental. We're going to go through it in a series of stills. I'll try and remember all I've learned from and there's an audio commentary on here, and and not a super long making of, but Wing Grace, is it better than Section 31? Having all your teeth pulled out is better than Section 31, to be completely honest. Sorry, you got me angry now. Anyway, so we'll go through it in the series of still. Try and remember the stuff I've learned. I did start going through the IMDb trivia section, but I just kept highlighting everything, so I might just go in and pick random things. Not the whole movie, just her performance. All right. Oh, aye, she were in that, wasn't she? Yeah, I forgot, actually. Yeah, she were in Section 31, wasn't she? Yes, I had forgot that. As kind of a hologram, wasn't she? Yeah. Anyway, we're you know, all actors and actresses do stinkers every now and again, don't they? Thankfully, this isn't one of them. Right, so we'll get on with it. I shall pop myself down in the corner. Thusly. Hey, there I go. And I shall add this to the stage. And we'll get on with it. We shall get on with it. Hey, there it comes. There's the... oh, pardon me. The digital 20th Century Fox logo. Did we recently say which film first had this? And I can't remember what it was. Was it this? I don't know. I can't remember. I was suggesting it might have been the Star Wars special editions, but it can't have been because this came out first. Anyway, never mind. Right, so Lightstorm, 20th Century Fox. By the cool musical score from Brad Fiedel. We'll have a quick listen. Get into trouble if I do it any longer. Right, so there we go. James Cameron film, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis. True, I don't like this. That True, that's very, of its time, innit? It kind of reminds me a bit like Independence Day, where that had like they did it quite a bit, didn't they? In the mid-90s, where they had the titles spinning. Why? Don't know. It's kind of a bit naff, but never mind. Right, we begin. It's essentially a James Bond film, is this, sort of. It starts off like a James Bond film. We're at Lake Chapeau in Switzerland. I don't know if that's a real place. I have no idea. It means Lake Hat, doesn't it? In the Chapeau Hat. Could be wrong. But it looks very Swiss, doesn't it? I've been to Switzerland. I didn't go to anywhere that looked like that, though. I went to Liechtenstein. That looked like that. Apart from the lake. But anyway. Right, so, there we go. It's the October the 19th, 1994. There you go. That says 1993. Or is the 4 different in Arabic numerals? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. What does it say? Black Tie Affair at Chateau Louise. There we go. So, some big shindig going on. But, as we pan down, Zutritt verboten. Does that mean entry forbidden? I don't know. Or access forbidden? I don't know what Zutritt means. Hang on, we see... this kind of reminded me of the beginning of the Avengers. I know this came before. Remember when Tony Stark were at the bottom, underwater, doing some underwater welding in his Iron Man suit? Kind of reminded me of that. I bet Joss Whedon stole that from this. Anywho... There he's getting in. Who's this person, by the way? Who is this getting in? There we see some Dobermans and guards. There we go. Charlton Heston or Spencer Trilby. Comes up through the ice. I bet it's cold. Ooh, but out he comes. It's very Goldfinger, by the way, isn't it? It's when he didn't have a blooming seagull stuck on his head. Anyway, it's Arnie. Takes off his... and there we see... Tom Arnold, former husband of Roseanne Barr. Was he her husband at this time? I don't know. But I think it's his first big film, I think. And he's really good in it. Really good in it. And there's Faisal, played by Grant Heslov, having a wee. There you go, see? Left a bit of yellow snow. Anyway, here he is. And there you go. Taking off his wetsuit to reveal shirt and tie and stuff, but Dickie Bow underneath, just like James Bond did in Goldfinger. Sean Connery, he did that, didn't he? Homage or rip-off, you decide. But anyway, There you go. He's setting some explosives, putting some aftershave on, and off he goes into the chateau, sneaking in. Here he is talking to some of the guests. There he is. He notices. Oh, he bumps into this fella. Colonel, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, thanks. And goes, who was that guy? Sounds very American. I imagine he's not supposed to be American. This is supposed to be a room full of, I think, like international terrorists, but I don't know. Or like, rogue states and all that stuff, but whatever. So he's going in there to. Yes, he's such an unassuming figure, is Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't he? He blends in. Anyway. He's going in to hack the computer of the fella whose name was on the thing, Khaled or whatever he's called. So he goes climbing up the drain pipe. In he goes. Guessing there's no alarms or anything. But, he's a super spy. There he is in his Windows 3.1. Because it's 1994, remember. Getting into the computer. That's Grant Heslov, who you may know from films like, I can't remember, Congo, Dante's Peak as well. I think he does more directing now, I think, than acting. But there he's being the hacker. All right, he comes out now, there's Arnie. He's got that going. Out he comes and speaking in perfect Arabic. I'll just play it.
And how is the party tank?
See, on the subtitles on I think on here, it says like perfect in brackets, perfect Arabic. Oh dear. Got to take a leak. Looking for the toilet. Obviously, he's not really. Right, this is where we're introduced to the lovely Tia Carrera as Juno Thingamabob. I forgot a blooming name now. What's she called now? It just says Juno there. Unbelievable. IMDb. What you like? Juno Skinner. That's it. I should have remembered that because I would have thought of Principal Skinner from Simpsons, shouldn't I? But anyway. Juno Skinner. She's a Oh, I forgot to mute it. She's a baddie.
Right.
There we go. She's a baddie. We're going to learn. But anyway, so he's going to have a dance with her. Going to do a tango. And apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger practiced for months to do this scene. There you go. His entry has been found by the guards. So there you go. Guards are going ape poo. But go, do you tango? So he's tangoing with her now. Practice for ages to get this right. I think when they were handed the script and going through the stunts and stuff like that that were going to be in the film, the stuntmen in this that look nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll probably point them out as we go. But James Cameron said, this will be your hardest stunt, this scene. So he's got to do this tango with Tia Carrera. So, anyway, there you go. So he's dancing away. But now he's got to get out. And, by the way, Tom Arnold is in his ear all the time, telling him, what's what. So now he's going to, what's your exit strategy? I'm going out through the front door. So there you go. So this fella comes up. Excuse me, may I see your invitation, please? In English. Don't know why. But says, yeah, here's my invitation. Boom! Blows all loads of stuff up because it's like a James Bond film. So, right, off he goes, running for his life. So I've just remembered, we've got the dogs coming, haven't we? They've set the dogs on him. So these lovely dogs, these lovely Dobermans that suddenly turn into big rubber Dobermans. Like that. Bless them. Obviously, they couldn't use real dogs. Anyway, so there we go. So he's dealt with them dogs. He hasn't killed them. They're fine. It shows them again. They get up and they're like going, whining, but they're okay. Kills guards. You're allowed to kill guards and people, but not dogs. There he goes running. I think, is this a stunt runner? Because that doesn't look like Arnie, does it? There's lots of stunt running. It does. Sometimes it looks, there's nothing like that. That's not Arnie, is it? A stunt standing about in the snow. Maybe they were scared he'd slip and fall and hurt himself. I don't know. Anyway. Right, so he's going down the hill. There we go. And that's Arnie. Right, so they've got out of there. So now they're back in Washington, D.C. Here they are landing. And by the way, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Harry Tasker. He was pretending to be called Harry Rehnquist in the Chateau when he met Juno Skinner, but his real name's Harry Tasker. Well, I'm assuming that's his real name. You never know. And he's a spy with Omega Sector, as is Tom Arnold. Anyway, so here he is, giving him all his stuff back, his passports and all that stuff, and a gift for his daughter, who's played by Eliza Dushku. I think she was just 14 when she did this. And apparently she got abused by one of the stunt coordinators or something. I don't know if he got in trouble for it. I don't know but she accused him of it. So anyway. Right, so he's home now, so he's got to get back to his home life. Right, so here he is. There's him with his wife, Jamie Lee Curtis, Helen Tasker, and there's his daughter, Dana. Right, so here he is. Going back to the normal drudgery of domestic bliss. There's a lot. I don't like her character in this. I'm not a big fan of Eliza Dushku as it is, but a character in this, I know she's only a kid, so I can't really say but she's just horrible. It's given her the gift, a snow globe, Swiss village, and she says that's lame, and just chucks it in the bin. Look, there you go, chucks it in the bin. Hateful child, and she's horrible. She's a horrible character in this. Even at the end, she does me head in. But anyway, right. So as I said, domestic bliss. His wife doesn't know he's a spy. That's the hook of the film. She doesn't know he's a spy, going on all these dangerous missions. She thinks he's a salesman for a computer company. So she's asking, how was the conference? She thought he was just away for a conference. He said it was fantastic. We had the new system and all this, the 680 and all that. I was giving it. I love the computer business. Anyway, so she tells him she had the plumber out. This is where we learn that she can think on her feet, which we'll get to later. Oh, and we also see that she keeps in shape because he comes out. Is it here where he comes out and she's? It might be later. When she shows her on the exercise bike, she keeps in shape. Wingray says there may be a spy in this very stream. Who knows? Who is to say? Well, you never know. There could be. But it's not me. I'd be a rubbish spy. I would. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right, yes. Well, she can think on the feet. She's saying that the plumber or something is to dig under the slab, whatever she's talking about. It's going to cost $600. And he says, oh, that's okay. She says, no, it's extortion. She says, oh, what did you do? And she jokes. I'm guessing she joked. She said, I slept with him and he said he'd knock $100 off. And he goes, good thinking. And he gives her a kiss and goes, bye, honey. And then this bit, where he gives her a kiss and then she does that little... And that were I can never remember that word. Why can I never remember that word? Ad-libbed. You know the other word for ad-libbed? What they do on Whose Line Is It Anyway? What is that? Why can I never remember that word? That, she ad-libbed it. And they liked it, so they kept it in. Wingrave's going to tell me any minute now the word I'm trying to think of. I can never remember it. Why can I never remember it? Don't know. Right, here comes Tom Arnold. Just lets himself in, as people do in America. They just let themselves in. And we see that he puts this packet of cigarettes on the mantelpiece there. We think, what's he doing? Because he's like looking. Improv, that's it. Improvisation, yes. Why can I never remember that word? Don't know. Because I'm an idiot, that's why. Where were we? Oh, right, so he puts this pack of cigarettes on the mantelpiece, and we see he's like looking as though what's he aiming it at? But we find out in a minute. Here comes Dana's, I'm guessing her boyfriend on his motorbike. Then she puts a helmet on. Tom Arnold comes in. And might be my favourite line of the film.
Boy, I remember the first time I got shot out of a cannon.
He's really good in this, is Tom Arnold. His two best films, this and his brief scene in Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Anyway, right, so here we go, showing Harry the glasses, and we see that there's a camera in the pack of cigarettes, and it's transmitting to a screen in the glasses, and you can get them now, can't you? That's like super futuristic technology back in 1994. Anyway, so as you can see that, and we see that Dana's stealing money. Apparently $200, but I think it's $200 over time, because he's noticed as whatever he's called. I can't remember his name. I keep calling him Tom Arnold. Gibb, that's it. Albert Gibson. Gibb. It's noticed that somebody's been stealing money off him, and he thought it was his wife's boyfriend, but soon to be ex-wife. But we learn it's Dana that's been stealing from him. So she's over time she's nicked like $200 from him, because he says to him, "You owe me $200." Dana, she's ripping you off. He goes out after her. Don't know if there's any consequences for that. Don't know. I'm guessing there is, maybe down the line. Right. Anyway, so they're off into work now. Here they are. Heading into work, and as Harry's upset that Dana's stealing, I told her better than that. So I've been doing bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions all the way through this. But anyway, right. So in they go to it's I think it's they're in a I don't know if they're in a government building now, or I think. Hang on, let's have a look. The front is actually, yes, Techtel. It's the computer company's Techtel. But when they get inside and through several more layers of security, then they're in the secret agent place. But the front is a computer company, a bit like in James Bond, where it were Universal Exports on the door, wasn't it? But inside it was British Intelligence. This was before it were MI6. But anyway. At least you admit they are bad. All my impersonations are bad. But anyway. So, right. There you go. So, anyway, Gibbs ribbing him about Dana, saying she's probably stealing the money for an abortion and all that stuff. Anyway. Right, so the more security, more like, total recall stuff. In the go, blah, blah, blah. And this is where we learn that they're in Omega Sector, the last line of defence. And this is where we're going to get introduced to Spencer Trilby. Again, cool name. Played by Charlton Heston. And he's going to show him. There he is. They based him, James Cameron based him, as you can tell, off Nick Fury. So there we go. So this is an Avengers film, you could say. And Justin's here. Hello all, happy Mondays. Hope everyone is well. I'm fine, thank you very much. And I'm guessing Windgrace is okay, and Quest is okay as well. Make sure nobody else has said anything. No, they haven't. Right, where were we? So we're learning that they got the information off the computer off Khaled's computer, and that's what he's showing, that he's wiring money to various terrorist organisations, and we learn that there we go. Pardon me. 4 MIRV warheads were smuggled out of some former Soviet state. I can't remember which one does it say. Kazakhstan. And so that terrorists have got their hands on nukes. By the way, MIRV stands for, Quest knows, I've got it written down, just a minute. Multiple Independently Targetable Re-Entry Vehicle. That's what MIRV stands for. Got that out of the way. Windgrace says, I could be bleeding out in a ditch for all you know. And still commenting. He's lying at the bottom of a ditch in the blazing sun, tapping on his phone, putting a message in. Still tuning into the stream, but he's not. Anyway, where were we? Oh, MIRVs being stolen or smuggled out of Kazakhstan. So the bad guys have nukes. What's Winter Quest now saying? MI6. Many branches, British Secret Service is still commonly referred to as MI. Well, yeah, I know. But what about in James Bond? It was only started referring to it as MI6 later on in the series, didn't they? It just used to be British intelligence up until, I don't know, the 80s maybe. I can't remember. But anyway. Where were we? I think it was referred to as MI7, maybe in Doctor No. I could be wrong. Anyway, whatever. Where were we? All right, nukes. Right. Kelly's group bought the nukes. There we go. So bad guys have nukes. So, right. So he says you better get on it and before somebody packs a car with a nuclear warhead in the trunk. All that. There you go. Outside the White House. And then Helen's at work with her workmate who, I don't know, looks like... I forgot her name now. That British politician who's good with numbers, question now. And he says hello. What's her name now? Never mind. She's saying like, it's not like he's saving the world or anything. Because, well, no, he is really. But she's saying how boring he is, basically. But there we go. She put glasses on her. She looks like that British politician. What's her name now? Who's rubbish with numbers. Labour. Anyway, whatever. Right, so there they go. They're working away, blah, blah, blah. They're going to meet up with Juno Skinner. She's in town, so they think she's something to do with it. So they're going to go and have a chat with her. As going as his Harry Rehnquist persona. That's where he is. There you go, meets her. So where we learn that she gets antiquities out of countries like Iraq and Syria and all them places. And Iran. This is where she's showing him all the stuff. And here we see some Middle Eastern type chaps just sitting about. She's telling them to get back to work. We also see there's Art. Yes, there's Art Malik in the background. He's the leader of the bad guys. Spoilers. But he's just lurking about there. So anyway, so she's talking away to him. Right. So afterwards, they're gonna. He's going. I can't speak. He's going to bug her office. Anyway, back at her office. She's there, and Art Malik comes. May I have a word with you, please? So hang on. So the other secretary goes out. He comes in. This reflection, these lights from through the blinds freaks me out for some reason. It always has done. I thought when I first saw it, I thought it's my telly breaking down. I don't know who you mean. They all just say random numbers in politics. Anyway, yeah, but I can't remember her name. I'm going to look it up now because it'll bother me. It's on tip of my tongue. It's hot tip of my tongue. I think she's been made a peer, I think. So, does it tell us? No, I don't want to know that. Go away. What are you doing? Full list. Oh, I don't want the new ones. Just. Oh, there we go. That'll do. Oh, I could be here a long time. There's loads of them, isn't there? she's a baroness, isn't she, I think, now? Never mind. Is that Floella Benjamin? Is she a baroness now? It is. Floella Benjamin's a baroness. And the Liberal Democrat peer. I didn't know that, so I'm just looking at the list of Labour peers. Diane Abbott, that's what I'm thinking of. I didn't see her in there, it just came to me. It looks like Diane Abbott. Right, anyway, right. Honestly, if it wasn't for Halloween, who would know Jamie Lee Curtis is? Pretty much that film, made her, didn't it? Plus the fact that she's the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. That kind of helped her career a little bit. But anyway, plus she got her baps out in Trading Places. That also helped. Right, where were we? Oh, this is my telly's not breaking. It's reflection from the blinds. He comes in and he gives her a good old slap. Like that. Ooh, I wonder if he did really hit her, because she looked genuinely surprised. Or is she just a really good actress? I don't know. But this is where we learn that he's the baddie, saying, oh, you were flirting like a whore, and all that stuff. But he says, good job, you pay me a lot of money. But anyway, so they're on to Rehnquist now. They want to know who he is, to the bad guys. Anyway, right, apparently it's Harry's birthday. Kept that quiet, didn't they? But apparently it's Harry's birthday, so Helen and Dana are planning a big birthday dinner for him when he gets home from work. Wingray says she was in movies. I thought she was just the poop yogurt woman. I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing, is that a commercial she appeared in? It sounds disgusting. Poop yogurt. Ooh. Anyway, which maybe what she's mixing up there. Maybe she's mixing up a bit of poop yogurt there. I don't know. But anyway, blimey. It's his birthday, so they're planning a breakfast dinner. She's phoning Harry at work to remind him. So she's got to get through the various layers of security. But, Dana's feeding some mixture to the dog. She's got this scratty, horrible, ugly dog. And like I say, she's a horrible character. It does my head in. Just don't like kids. She's Activia yogurt spokeswoman over here. All right, fair enough. And she also looks the spitting image of my sister, to be honest, now. But anyway. You just have to take my word for that, because I'm not going to show you a picture of my sister. Anyway, right. Yes, he was on his way home from work, but now they've picked up a tail, so they've got to sort it out. So Gibb reminds him, Helen's going to be pissed. And says, well, you see, this is the problem with terrorists. They have no, what's the word? I'm telling me, there we go. Inconsiderate when it comes to people's schedules. So there they are, they're following him. Aziz is his name, is Art Malik, who you may know. He'd been in a James Bond film. He were in the first Timothy Dalton one, Living Daylights. He were in there, wasn't he? That explains the low sales of yogurt. Sorry, it's yogurt, isn't it, in America? Eliza Dushku, a.k.a. Faith. Yes, she was in Buffy as Faith. I don't know that, but yeah. And she was in Wrong Turn and been in other stuff. She was in that series Dollhouse, wasn't she, as well? I'm not a big fan of it. Oh, she was also in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. She was in that as well. It's been in loads of stuff, hasn't she? Anyway, where were we? Art Malik and his henchmen. They're following the good guys, so they're gonna see how well they follow him. So he's using the cigarettes with the camera in, and his Harry, seeing if they're going to follow him. And they're heading to the Marriott. I think it's the Marriott Hotel. Oh no, they're heading to a mall at first. There we go, the Georgetown Park Mall, whatever. There he is. They're following him. Two of them. Aziz is staying in the car. Gibbs phoning Helen saying he's going to be late. So anyway, the great scene in the bathroom of the Georgetown Mall, whatever it's called. He uses the cigarette thing again, so he knows that they're going to sneak up on him. Here they come, the bad guys. Pretending to have a wee. Gibbs on Aziz. So anyway, here we go. I do like this bit. Where he sneaks up on him. But you can see him in the camera. Big fight ensues. Cool fight. Blood and guts and puddings flying all over. Wingray says she was in the movie The Alphabet Killer about a series of murders that took place where I live in the 1070s. How long have you been there? Were the Vikings? I know you mean 1970s. I'm kidding. And Quest says, I recently found out that Jean-Claude Van Damme was the original Predator. Yes, he was. Thank God they changed the look of the Predator. It was supposed to be like a big insecty thing. I'm doing that because it had big claws and stuff, didn't it? Or whatever they were, pincers. But they used the scenes of him cloaked. Yes, that's why it looked a little bit different when it were like its invisibility thing. But did Predator a couple of weeks ago. I'll have to check that movie out. Oh, about the alphabet killer. I don't think I've seen it. It does ring a bell though. Maybe I've read about it. I must have done. Anyway, so the fighting. There's some poor fella in one of the stalls trying to have a poo. But I'll probably not landed him. Anyway, so Harry is fighting this big bugger because he's a big muscly fella. Is this chap? I won't want to go up against him, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, so it's fine. And I don't think that's Arnold Schwarzenegger though, is it? He uses a lot of stuntmen, doesn't he? He's no Tom Cruise, is he, Arnie? Anyway, so they're fighting away. There we go. And he gets him, whacks him with a... Oh, there's a little story, isn't there? Oh, there was a little story about this. He pulls this hand dryer. There we go, you can see it there. Pulls that hand dryer off the wall. When in rehearsals for this scene, James Cameron was telling him what to do, and he was showing him, because he's very hands-on, is James Cameron, and he says, I want you to pull this off the wall, and it was like demonstrated without pulling it off, with force. And he swung his arm round and then caught the back of his hand on this counter here. You can see it there, yes, this counter. Actually cut his hand open, did James Cameron. So he says, oh, don't do that. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said, oh, okay, action. And he did that and cut the back of his hand open. But anyway, when he pulled there we go, he banged it on the counter, just like he shouldn't have done, but anyway. There you go. Clonks him with the hand dryer, and then shoves his face in the urinal. With all the little pineapple chunks in the bottom. I think in the when I originally saw this, it was probably on VHS, and it'll be like 4:3. So I think you could actually see. You can't see it because it's cut off. It was actually a bit, taller with the thing, and you could see when he pushes his head down, you could see the bottom of the urinal move as though like made of rubber or something like that. You can't see it in this shot, but anyway, so he's dealt with them. But here comes Aziz. I think it's Aziz. I'm gonna have to check now. Art Malik, where are you? Yes, Salim Abu Aziz. Could you have any more of a Middle Eastern name? Anyway. What's he doing there? I was picking him up, into because here comes Art Malik with his machine gun, shooting people. There's this poor fella, by the way, in the stalls, wondering what's going on. Maybe we'll land on him. There you go, shooting away. Oh, yes, he shoots this. Yeah, shoots all the stalls up with his machine gun. But then when he opens one of the doors, if you can see it, when he opens one of the doors, it kicks the doors open. Because we see the back of one of the doors. Is it one? No, pick the wrong. There we go. See the back of one of the doors. There's all this tape on. So I'm thinking, were the explosives, were the squibs taped onto the back of the stall door when he fired his gun to set them all off? But it made the squibs fall off. But they were just taped on with like duct tape or something. It looks like it, doesn't it? We're not supposed to notice these things. But anyway. Shooty, all that way. Not shooty gatware, but anyway. Question reminds me of Matt Damon talking about Tom Cruise, telling him about the safety guy. I don't know that one. Don't know that story, Quest. Anyway, jumping through the window. That's a James Cameron standard, isn't it? Another good scene. There you go, Gib hiding behind this lamppost. He's shooting at him. Oh dear. And somehow it doesn't hit him. And it's all very amusing. Gib, there we go. Does a little checks, make sure he's not being hit. And he gives the lamppost a kiss. We're not supposed to notice, but they do make them so obvious. Yeah, so we're not supposed to be paying attention to that, are we? Justin knows the story. I'm in the dark. Anyway, right, so chase across town. Art Malik, I'll keep forgetting his name, so I'll just call him Art Malik. Steals this chap's bike. There we go. So he heads off on the bike. So Harry commandeers a police horse. So off he goes. Cool music, by the way. Is it going to do it? There we go, riding his horse through Washington, D.C. He's saying, meet me at the Marriott and hurry, my horse is getting tired. Anyway, so there we go, they're arriving at wherever it is, the Marriott or the Mayfair. I think they go through here, through the Mayfair Hotel and end up at the Marriott afterwards. So he's riding through the hotel, the fella on a motorbike, him on his horse. There we go. Motorbike, and then this fella goes... there we go. As the horse comes through, sorry. So there we go. Oh, they're at the Marriott now. Look, Marriott, not Marriott. Right, so now they're going up in an elevator. He gets in an elevator and takes a hostage. Does Aziz. So Arnie rides round to the other elevator, rides his horse in. Just push the button for the top floor, and off they go. These two are actually I think this is their horse. I think in the commentary it said, they're like the horse wranglers are these two. So that's why they're in there with him. And they do a good job because they have lines and everything. But when we see it from the outside, in the wide shots, if I can find one, obviously that's a real horse because you can tell, can't you? But when it shows from the wide shots, when it shows the elevator going up and down, they didn't want to trap a horse in an elevator in case it didn't like it. So they have like a animatronic horse. See if we can see. They're going to show us a little staring, look. That shot, that'll be an animatronic horse in there that is on, if it's going to show it. Never mind. We didn't land on it, but take my word for it, it was. Right, they continue. They're on the roof now of the Marriott, and Aziz rides his bike off, and you can see he's not going to make it, is he? He's not going to make that. But somehow he does. He makes it to the other building, but he's going to land in the middle of the street, according to that. But somehow he makes it across. Hang on, he's going to show it. There we go. Hang on, there we go. Lands in the pool on that building, even though he was miles off. But pardon me, never mind. Quest says, I'll DM you a link to the video, Steve. Okie doke. We're still on about the Matt Damon thing. Okie dokie. Anywho, where were we? He lands in a pool opposite, so Arnie's going to follow him on his horse. Again, that's not Arnie, is it? But never mind. Looks more like bloody not Nicholas. Christian Bale, doesn't it? That, but never mind. Off he goes, but the horse decides it doesn't want to do it, and pulls up, and Harry goes over the edge. There we go. There he goes. Anyway, so he gets the horse to back up. And he berates the horse. Aziz gets away. He berates the horse. What kind of cop are you? And I was watching it earlier on, and my son was here watching it with me. He says, can he talk to animals? Bless him. He says, no, he's just telling the horse off. Right, so anyway, finally gets home, does Harry. There you go. I don't know what time it is, but I'm guessing it must be late. She's asleep. Missed his party, sorry. And we see, he's got an injured hand from his fighting and all that stuff. Sent to your ex, okie dokie. Right, hang on. Let's have a look. While we're here, because we're live, what the heck? I've got a message. I don't get many messages on X. It's kind of cool. Matt Damon and Tom Cruise have different approaches to something.
I am a
Shush. To death-defying stunts. All right, okie dokie. Right, I'll watch that later. Thank you. Right. Where were we? Oh, why? She gives his hand a squeeze, and he's like, Anyway, right, next day. He's looking for who this bad guy is. So he's going through the database, and this is where we find out who he is. Aziz Salim Abu Aziz. So all this info, look. Abdul Sheikh, Nafez Salem Omar. He's 5'10", he's 35. Last known address is New York. Arrest, possession of narcotics, assault. There we go. It says there 5'11". I'm looking at a different thing now. It says 5'10" there, it says 5'11" there. It says he's 30 there. What are you talking about? Oh no, that's what he put in, didn't he? You know, his rough estimates, probably, for finding who it is. He says, that's him. So they know who they're looking for now. They know the main baddie is. We learn that he's responsible for lots of attacks, hijackings, explosions, stuff like that. And they call him the Sand Spider. Why? Because it sounds scary. So, got to find a way to get him now. But anyway, meanwhile, at lunchtime, Harry says, I really screwed up with Helen. I've got to take her out to lunch. So he's going to go see Helen. But it's all going to go wrong. So when he goes, before he gets there, Helen gets a phone call. We learn she's been getting phone calls from somebody called Simon. Here's Diane Abbott, look. There you go. Mystery Man on 2. So this is Simon, and we'll be getting phone calls from him, and we're going to find out why. But Harry thinks she's got a fancy bloke. So he doesn't let know that he's there. So he's listening in. They don't notice him. So she's saying, can you meet me, such and such? She said, okay, I can't wait. So off she goes, and then her workmate is saying, oh, tell that stud to take more time, like making it worse. Anyway, she's saying, it's not like that. But anyway, so Harry's like stunned. Look, she just walks out past him. Don't even notice like this bloody Mr. Universe there, because he's a spy, he blends in. So he comes out, look, just walking out, nearly gets run over. And Helen is having an affair. He says, oh, thank God, buddy. Everybody thinks it can't happen to them. Anyway, stop cheering me up. So, it's, get on with work, he says. You've got to, not worry about it. Anyway, so that's what he's going to do. And Gib tells him about, when his wife left him. And does it say it here? Hang on, let's see if I can find it. So the top cheering me up. There you go. So his ex-wife, his first wife or something like that, took the ice cube trays from the freezer. What kind of sick bitch takes the ice cube trays out of the freezer? And I once saw this with a lady friend of mine many years ago. She burst out laughing because she said she did that. So it must be a thing that all women do. But apparently it's a true story because Tom Arnold, another improv from Tom Arnold. Quest says, what do you get when you add 2 rashers of bacon, spot of ketchup, American mustard, fried egg, a slice of American plastic cheese, and 2 slices of roast toasted bread? I'm guessing Melvin's supper over at Quest HQ. I'm guessing. Sounds very nice. Sounds very, because I'm hungry. And now you've said that, I'm blooming hungry. Anyway, I could just eat a big pretzel, big pretzel. Anyway, so he's fed up now, is Harry, because he thinks Helen's having an affair. She's having an affair. So here he is. You can tell he's angry, but she's not saying anything. So I wonder if he's got a temper. Because she's been all meek. He says, I called by, but you weren't there. He says, oh, yes, I had to do this, that, and the other. Again, thinking on the feet. Making up stories. Anyway, so she's telling him all that, and he's simmering. Should have steam coming out of his ears or something. But anyway. So, next day they're at work, and Harry says, I want you to bug Helen's phone. So that's what he's going to do. And they do that, and we learn that, what's his face? Simon's been phoning her and all that. And there he goes, it's safe to talk. So he's going to follow her. But first he's going to put a tracking thing in her bag. Oh, there she is on the exercise bike. So we know she keeps in shape, thankfully, for later. Just buy the Turbo Man and she'll come around. Yes, he should do, shouldn't he? The last Turbo Man. Just says American plastic cheeseburger. Yum. After releasing that video earlier, Ballerina appeared for Friday at my local Odeon. I'm sure it'll be okay. Ballerina, you know, it's what's the face in Anna de Armas. Is that how you pronounce it? I know it's got an L in it, but anyway. I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm sure it will. But I won't see it. I'll wait for it to come out on streaming. As I do with everything. But Aidan, my son, wants to go and see Megan 2. Well, Megan 2.0. I still think it should have called it Megan, changed the A to a 4, but never mind. Even though it's not Megan 4, but never mind. He wants to go see that when it opens on 27th of June. But anything I want to see, I can't bloody go see it, can I? I can't, you know, he won't go with me to watch Jurassic World, because I want to go see that Jurassic World Rebirth. But no, he won't. Doesn't want to. So I'm going to have to wait for streaming for that one. Anywho. Where were we? Yes. He sneaks her bag out and hands it to Gib, and Gib puts a tracking device in it. So that's what he's doing there. Right. So he got a tracking device in Helen's bag so he can follow her. So that's what they're doing now. They're following her. There he is with binoculars, gone to some Chinese restaurant somewhere. Where she's meeting Simon. There he is. And it's Bill Paxton. Excuse me, I nearly said Bill Plankton. It's just what me and my mate call him, just for fun. Bill Paxton. The late, great Bill Paxton. He's Simon. And they're listening in, because there's a microphone as well that they're listening in the bag. So they can hear what they're saying, and he starts taking credit for all the stuff that happened the night before, or whenever it was. Or 2 days, or whenever it was. Taking credit for that. So at first I thought it was another operative for somebody else, but now they realise he's a fraud. He's pretended to be a spy to get close to Helen. And anyway, so but she doesn't, she's all taken in with this world of espionage. She thinks it's all exciting, but they're laughing at him. So they follow him to his. We learn he's a used car salesman. That's another one of my favourite bits.
I'm sorry, Harry. I know it's gonna be painful. If it was just so me and not you, you'd laugh your ass off. I mean,
I just think it's really funny. It's gripping it so tight, smashes it. Justin says, Quest said, Mega 2 looks good. Looks a bit mad, doesn't it, compared to the first one? But anyway, Megan closer to reality every day. Yes, it is. It's kind of scary. The AI news is very bleak right now. It is. As I said, AI is doing everything now, isn't it? Even songs. But I still write me own. But the movie does look good. It looks fun. That's what you can say, isn't it? It's that age-old question: giant dinosaurs or dancing killer robot? I know what I'd pick. I want to see both. Anyway. Anywho, he's got his German, German binoculars. It says there, Steiner, Germany. I've got some Soviet binoculars. It says on I can't remember where I got them from. I've had them since I was a kid. Made in CCCP, it says on them. I'm not a spy. Honest. Winger says, AI is really done when it starts making songs for other AI to enjoy that we don't comprehend. Maybe it's doing it already and we don't realise it. Because, it'd be over in like a millisecond. It'd be like Vija. We can't, as humans, we can't, comprehend what the AI is talking to each other. The song will be over in less than a millisecond, as Spock said in the motion picture. But anyway, where were we? right, it's going to go and talk to Simon. There he's in the Corvette. $17,599 cash, full price. Quest says AI is done when AI starts suing over copyright. I know I've seen some of them have started doing that, haven't they? That's if you. I think that's if you use the free versions. These song websites. There's one I use called aimusic.so. But you can get a license, but you've got to like sign up for it to get the license. But you can get the license, sign up, like pay, monthly fee. But then you could cancel it. Do your songs, pay your monthly fee, do your songs, get your license, you get it in form of a PDF, and then cancel, and then you don't have to pay anymore. But according to their terms, which I've looked up, the license still stays with you, so you can use it in perpetuity. But anyway, that's by the by. Where were we? Oh, yes, he's going to talk to Simon. He's interested in the Corvette. There's another hilarious scene where he's talking about how he seduces women. So it's all very, very amusing. But the vet. I'm not saying the stuff he says. So he's talking about how he seduces women using his killer hooks and all that. He's not telling him what he does, but he lets on that he's got one going now, which is obviously Helen, and it says he has them playing a fantasy role, and that's what they think it's all cool, and but anyway, but he has like a fantasy thing now. In a minute, hang on, where are we? I'm just gonna have to play it. Just a minute, because he's made some boring jokes. But anyway, there we go. I'll just play this bit. I'll go back a bit.
Ass like a 10-year-old boy.
That'll laugh. Let's see James laugh, hasn't he? Anyway, it's hilarious. I think it's really funny. Anyway, so it says, do you want to buy it then? It says, well, hold on to it for a day. Okay, since it's you. Right, so, I forgot his name already. I'm going to look it up now. Gib, there you go. Gib gives Harry the latest transcripts for the phone calls. There's a page missing, so he's trying to protect Helen, I suppose. But it says, "Give me the page." So anyway, so they're going to meet. Is where we learn that they're going to meet. There we go. K Street under the Key Bridge, 8 sharp. So this is where Simon's going to try and seduce Helen. She doesn't know. She thinks she's going on a mission, a secret mission. But off they go. Illegally using sector resources. But anyway. Right, so Helen meets Simon. Off they go. He says, I've got to take you to a safe house outside the city, which is just like, I'm guessing it's just his trailer. Oh, aye. And this, they've got a helicopter following them. And the voice on this helicopter.
Have the ball. You got a pretty good lockup on infrared.
That's James Cameron's voice. James Cameron. Acting. Make sure we're still going. Make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. But anyway, there you go. That's... sorry, look. A classic Corvette for under 2K. No, it wasn't. It was 17,599. So it was under 20k. Even Bumblebee was 4k. Yeah, it was 17,599. So they're following in his helicopter. We go to some trailer park, which I'm guessing is Simon's actual trailer where he lives. There you go. He's seducing her, saying it's for a mission. I want you to come to Paris with me. And in all fairness, he does put in the effort. There we go. It's talking about, to go to Paris, and she notices these airline tickets to Paris. I'm guessing they're not real, obviously. But, so it puts in the effort. The Simon. He's no slouch in that department. But we've got to go to Paris with a stopover in London and all that. Obviously, I don't think he has any intention of going to Paris. He just wants to conquer Helen and then probably dump her. But I'll come up with some story as to why it's cancelled or whatever, the operation. But anyway, he was seducing us, and we've got to be like a married couple. So we've got to be completely intimate with each other. But obviously she's uncomfortable with it. But here comes Harry and Gib and his crew with their balaclavas on. And she said, no, I can't do it. I'm sorry. He says, not for me, do it for your country. But then the lights go out and in comes the cavalry. Harry's staring at him. Because he fell down in between Helen's legs. So they drag him out. Simon's begging for his life, but Helen's kneeing Gib in his groin and running off because, she's girl boss, I suppose you could say, but in a cool way. But so she's not a shrinking violet. She'll defend herself. And I've missed a bit here. Why? Because she bites Harry. Oh, my telly's gone off. Amazing. Stupid blooming telly. What's it bloody news now? Look. Stupid thing. Bear with me. It's because wireless went off. It's bloody useless. Blooming useless. Bear with me while I get my pictures back. Give it a minute to come on. Live telly, yeah. Speaking of the news, what about Etna, eh? That's going up, isn't it? And I didn't want to be all conspiratorial, but I saw a thing on the news earlier about Mount Etna, and it was showing video of that, the pyroclastic clouds and stuff. And it looked fake. It didn't look real. But I don't know. Maybe it was AI. Cable over wireless, cable every time. Well, yeah, usually, but I've only got so many cables, and the tellies and the wireless. The cables are good to my PlayStation and my TV box and all that, and upstairs to Aidan's room. But anyway, where were we? Oh, yes, she bites Harry, and he drops her, and then this soldier, agent, whoever, this mystery person, hits her on the back of the head with his rifle. Hang on, where are we? I've gone too far now. There we go. And so Harry gives him a clout. Anyway, they're bundling in the back of a van, and Simon's saying, "Take her," because he's a coward. Right, so they've got Helen in this room. I'm guessing it's not actually in the Omega sector, in the middle of Washington, D.C. They've probably got a facility somewhere out of the way. Maybe it's like a rendition facility that they've got somewhere outside the city. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Who cares? They've got her there anyway. And they're asking her questions, saying, who do you work for? How long have you known Carlos the Jackal? So, I don't know. He's called Simon. I met him. She's having a flashback of Simon just leaving a case with her. There we go. They're on to me. Look after this case. I'll contact you. But then being nosy, she breaks into his case. As I said, he makes the effort, does Simon. Because she breaks into his case. So I'm guessing he's guessing she would break into it. Good job it's not the case of James Bond films, isn't it? Where you've got to twist the latch or like an explosive goes off. Good job it's not that case. Anyway, she looks in. Like I said, there's all stuff in it. Different denominations of money and different passports and maps and where are we? There we go. Map of Kuwait and all that stuff. And a gun. And loads of other stuff. So she thinks. So let's say he puts the effort in for for his fantasies and all that, doesn't he? But anyway. Oh, by the way, and we can see that she's patriotic because she's got a Stars and Stripes pencil holder. So I've just noticed. Quest says True Lies and the Jackal are in the same world, are they? You mean like the same universe? What you mean, like in Day of the Jackal? Is it a mega sector in that as well? I haven't seen the new Day of the Jackal. I forgot who's in it. I've seen the original one with the Edward Fox. I think it's Edward Fox, isn't it? It is all right. Anyway, so that's what she's saying. Said, did you find him attractive? She went, no. Well, maybe a little. I said, did you? Anyway, the questioner and ask her all sorts of intimate questions. Ask her about Harry, because they're speaking with she can't see him, and they're speaking with distorted voices. So she doesn't know who they are, and they're asking all sorts of questions and about that she loves her husband, she loves Harry, and she was just doing it because it was exciting. And said, did you sleep with him? She said, no, never slept with him. And they keep asking her the same question over and over. She starts losing her temper, but she says, she just wanted to do something outrageous. And there you go. She loses her temper, starts smashing the mirror, and I think she's telling the truth. But anyway. Said, there you go. Do you love your husband? And actually, it filled up a little bit earlier on watching this. It was, yes, I've always loved him. I will always love him. But anyway, so they're all happy now. So they say, what are you going to do? So I'm going to give her a mission or an assignment to make her life more exciting. So that's what they're going to do. And he says, your contact will be Boris. He says, and your code name will be, she goes, Natasha? Doris. Anyway, so they drop her off, and then she shouts at him, you pricks. And then we cut to, they've got Simon by some dam. I don't know which dam it is, but did you think you could elude us, Carlos? I don't know, my name's Simon. And it says, but I haven't seen your face. And he takes his balaclava off. And he says, oh, it's you. We're still interested in that vet. Anyway, and then he pulls a gun on him. And then he wheezes himself. And he says, I'm pathetic. I'm navel lint. If I were a spy, would I pee myself? So they let him go. And all that. And that's the last we see of Simon, unfortunately. Oh, no, it isn't. We see him again at the end. Sorry. But I'm guessing he does it. No, but he carries on doing his stuff, but just not with Helen. Quest says the series isn't bad, but Bruce Willis as the Jackal was spectacular. Oh, is he in the? Was there another movie version? I can't remember. Oh, it does me head in. There's this bloody kid just throwing her food up and catching it in the mouth. Does me head in. Give her a slap. Send her to a room. Anyway, again, she's thinking on the feet. Harry's saying, what was it like? Your bit of excitement, yesterday. She went, oh, my flat tire. It was kind of scary because the two took drive. I don't know how she says it. So there we go. I wish I could say it. The two took. I can't even say it. Look.
The tow truck driver took such a long time.
It's a right tongue twister, that, isn't it? The tow truck driver took such a long time. Anyway, it is for me anyway, 'cause I can't speak. Right, the phone rings. She says, "Oh, I'll get that," and it's the distorted voice. Doris, you have to go to the such and such hotel, and at such and such a time, and wear something sexy. So I said, okay, now you're going to dress sexy. Pick up the envelope marked Doris. Meanwhile, this French chap with a French accent is doing some recordings and for what we're going to learn soon. Right, so she's got a dress. This isn't her dress, but when she got this role, by the way, the bit that's coming up now is probably the most famous part of the film. When she was given the role, she read through the script, obviously, and she asked him, when is this scene coming up in the shooting schedule? Because she thought, if it's, I can't remember the start. She said, I think if we start shooting in April, and the scene's in, I don't know, June or something like that, the shoot, I've got time to get into shape, get to the gym and all that stuff, she said. And it wanted for the second week, the second week of shooting. So, luckily, she's in good shape as it is. She's in good shape as it is. There was Day of the Jackal 73 and then Jackal 97. Oh, right. And then the recent series. Oh, right. I didn't know the one in 97. Well, the one with... Oh, no, that was the Saint, wasn't it? The one with... second Batman. Just died. Mad Mardigan. Val Kilmer. Was that the Saint? That was the Saint Val Kilmer, wasn't it? Anyway, where were we? All right, and this dress... she actually brought a dress in, and she bought some... she had a dress that was pretty much the same, the little black dress thing. Form-fitting. She bought some of these frills from a shop, and she went in and said, this is what we should do. And she said, put all these frills on so that she can just tear them off and, make a sexy dress out of this conservative daft dress that she's got at home. So then the costume designer made a proper version. So anyway, so here she goes. There you go. Envelope for Doris, a access for a door and a phone number and a bug, because she's got to plant the bug in the phone by the bed or the deal's off. Right, so off he goes. There's giving her the instructions. She's got to go up and talk to this chap. This is where she rips the arms and collar and stuff off the dress. There we go. And she's in a heck of a shape. But we've had one Batman. What about second Batman? Thank you. Pippin, Mary. I can't remember which one says it. The Jackal had Richard Gere in it as well, did it? Oh, the 97 one. I've not seen that one. I've seen the original one a long time ago. But anyway. I remember it ended on a bit of a downer, didn't it? I'm sure it did. Anyway. Right, so she looks like one of them dancers off Robert Palmer videos, Addicted to Love. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm trying to be a sexy dancer. Anyway, right, there you go. She looks like one of them dancers off the Robert Palmer videos, Addicted to Love, don't she? Which I'm guessing is probably deliberate. Right, so off she goes. There's a chap in there already. He's in shadow, so we don't know who he is. Well, she don't. We do. It's supposed to be, some French bloke. But it's Arnie. It's Harry. Sorry, with a tape recorder. She obviously can't tell the difference. It must be a Memorex cassette that's in. Is it live or is it Memorex? Because she can't tell the difference between a recording and real life. But saying that, I'm a bit like that sometimes. If I hear a siren, I'm thinking, is that on the TV I'm watching or is it outside? Because you never know these days in this sleepy town I live in. Anyway. Where were we? Right, so here we go. She's got to dance for him now. There we go. She's awkward. There he is with his cassette player. She doesn't recognise it. She obviously has no night vision whatsoever. It's not that dark, is it? But she's got to take off her dress. Here we go. Ready, lads. Pardon me. There she is. Blimey O'Reilly. And so it's dancing. So, dance sexy. First she starts dancing like that. No, dance sexily. So she starts dancing, sexily. Like a pole dancer. There we go. I'll be like, blow me number. But, actually, is this the bit where she falls? Yes. I know. Is it coming up? Because Arnie didn't know this was going to happen. Is he going to do it? She dropped the bug. We haven't done it yet. Hang on. Go back again. There we go. When she falls there, she slips. No, she's gone too far. She slips and falls, and Arnie, he was about to get up and help because he didn't know she was going to do that. Because James Cameron said to her, I think she said to him, she said to James Cameron, what if I slip and fall? You know, it'd be funny. He says, yeah, okay, go for it. But they didn't tell Arnie. But being a professional, you know, we're going to get up and help her. But obviously, he realised James Cameron didn't shout cut, so he started to get up and then he sits back down again, as you see there. But she gets straight back up and carries on her sexy dance. Anyway, so and the cat's here. Behave yourself. Anyway, so. He says, get on the bed. He says, I thought you just like to watch. Do as you're told. Close your eyes, by the way. And then Harry goes to her with a rose, and he's obviously going to be all nice, and he goes and kisses her. But she doesn't know it's him, and she whacks him with the phone. There we go. And pulls the dress back on. There we go. And kicks him and stuff with her amazing legs. She remembers to put the bug in the phone. And says, Helen, wait, it's me. He says, Harry? Then all the bad guys burst in before they can explain. And she thinks that they're there for her. These are all Aziz's bad guys. Anyway, they drag him out, shove him in a van. Take him on a plane to where we meet Juno Skinner. She's here again. And this fella looks like he should be on some ancient Greek vase or a fresco from 200 BC, doesn't he? But anyway, the chauffeur or whatever he is. I bet he's got a rate. I bet he's called something like Leonidas Popolovos or something. I'm going to look him up and see if I can find a picture of him. If he has got a picture. Oh no, it's called Armen Gzadzikian. I don't know how to pronounce it. What else has he been in? Oh, he's from the former USSR, from Abkhazia. I've never heard of it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Abkhazia. Is that in Armenia? Because it says his mother was a dancer in an Armenian dance company. Anyway, so there we go. So he's not Greek. He just looks very Greek, doesn't he? But he's not. Right, where were we? Oh, they're going to get on the plane now. She keeps saying, it's me you're after. He doesn't know anything. Anyway. And she keeps, Arnie saying, let the hooker go. She knows nothing. I said, what are you talking about, Harry? Anyway, they knock him out, and off they go. They're going to the Florida Keys. They're flying to the Florida Keys from Washington. They arrive in a helicopter now. Started off in a plane, now they're in a helicopter. So it's where we learn that they've got the nukes there, hidden in these. I don't know how they got them in, but these are supposedly genuine artifacts. I forgot what she says now. Persian. From the empire of Darius I from 500 BC. But I'm guessing they're not. She says they're priceless, and then she says pity, and they pull the things off there with the sides off, and the nukes are in there. I'm guessing that's Russian for Merv 6. But so anyway, I don't know how they got them in. Must have beamed them in. But anyway, so that's how they got the nukes in the ancient artifacts, and they want Harry there to identify the nukes, so they're going to record him because they know he's a spy. That he can confirm to the world that they have nukes. That's what he tells him. I said, you know what this is? It's a snow cone maker, a water heater. So obviously threatens Helen. So he says it's a Merv 6. It's a Soviet Merv 6 from an SS-22 launch vehicle. Blah blah blah. Goes into all that. All the stuff that Quest already knows. So there you go. And then he speaks to him in Arabic and all that, because he's a spy, and he says to Helen, "I'm a spy." So she punches him. Like that. And again, Juno, Tia Carrera doing some great acting. Look. I wonder if she were in on it, because that looked kind of a genuine reaction, didn't it? But maybe she's just a good actress. But anyway, don't ever call me honey again. Right, so they're recording him now, confirming that Crimson Jihad, and he said Jimson Jihad, Crimson Jihad, which is his group, are a nuclear power. So that's what they use him for. And then Aziz continues, starts doing a speech on camera, and then this poor fella notices the battery's starting to run out. And they dare stop, because he's going on and on. And he dare stop. He goes, battery, Aziz! I have another one in the truck. So I'm guessing they finished it later. Yes, I know. I said it earlier on. If you were paying attention, I said it earlier. And you were here, because I know you were in the chat. I did say earlier on what Merv stood for, because I Googled it. Anyway, right. They find that in Helen's bag is the tracking device. So obviously Gib and the gang. It's a good name for a band, isn't it? Gib and the gang are on the way. They're following them. But they stop that. I must have been going to the loo. I could maybe just couldn't understand my northern brogue, or whatever I've got. By the way, speaking of AI, I tried a thing earlier on. There's a website called Flex Clip, which does AI stuff. And you can do an AI version of your own voice, like that deep fake for your voice. I can't remember what they call it. They do something allegedly like that. So I thought, I'll give it a go. So you record, so you can record your voice or give it a sample of your voice. And then it can recreate you saying anything. Except the one doing me didn't sound anything like me. But anyway, never mind. I didn't download it. I don't think I did. Hang on. Just bear with me. Hang on, just let me just remove that a minute. I don't think it downloaded. Let me check. I don't think I did. Just check my downloads folder. No, it's not there. It's not there. Never mind. Didn't think I downloaded it. Yeah, it sounded terrible. It sounded like a southerner, a posh southerner. Much like you, Melvin. Trying to do an impression of somebody from Yorkshire. But anyway, never mind. I think they're still doing Batman 2 because Penguin did well. I'm not. Oh, I was talking about Batman earlier on, weren't you? Oh, Batman 2. What's his face? I forgot his name. The director of the Batman. I can't remember his name. Matt. No, that don't sound right. Anyway, whatever. He's been having problems, something. I don't know, some health issues or mental health issues or something like that. So, but anyway. Anyway, that's why Batman 2 is, nowhere in sight. Anyway, where were we? They're going to torture and question Harry. They give him a truth drug. But Juno has one last fling with Harry. Said, didn't you tell Helen all about us? There is no us. And all that. But anyway, so off she goes. Leaves them in the hands of Samir, who's injected Harry with a truth serum. There you go, you see it's taking effect now. And saying, no, what did he give you? Sodium amytal or some other truth agent. So she starts asking him questions. Are we going to die? Yep. He's asking how long he's been a spy. 17 years. Have you ever killed anybody? I like her expressions. Is it here? Oh, no, it's here. Hang on. Come on, say something. Did I unmute it? I can't remember. Yes, it is unmuted.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Have you ever killed anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad. Anyway, the bad guys notices they've got Harry's wallet, and it's, or maybe it's her wallet, I don't know, but got a photo of Dana in it, so she's going to be a hostage later. There's Samir, who's going to question him. He's got a face. I thought, I've seen him in something else, and I looked him up on IMDb, and he's hardly been in anything. So, unless I'm just remembering him from this, because none of the other things on IMDb rung a bell. So, he's got one of those faces that I thought, I've seen him in something else, but I haven't. So there we go. Anyway, so says, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to get the guard with that thing over there, and then I'm going to break your neck and use him as a human shield. But it says all that stuff. Because I've picked the cuffs. So he does what he just said. Kills them all. There we go. Gets the guard with that. Breaks Samir's neck. Gets the other guard with a hook. And off they go. They've escaped. So, right. So anyway, they take out some more guards. And he says, I married Rambo. So now they sneak in and they listen to them getting all ready to do their dastardly terrorist stuff. By the way, let's go back a bit. There we go. So, I bet this fella that's standing here in the concrete, in the cement, that's quickly going off, or whatever they call it, hardening, but he's thinking, I hope Aziz doesn't start one of his long speeches, because he kind of does. They'll be stuck for all eternity in the back of that truck. But anyway, that's going on about, we're cool, we're badasses, and all that stuff. And then they bury the nuke under concrete. There we go. So I'm guessing it'll still work. I don't know. So that's where they realise they're probably in the Florida Keys somewhere. So they've got to take out all these bad guys. Aziz gets away, obviously. But there's lots of henchmen for them to kill. Oh, yes. He gave her a gun, a machine gun, I don't know, an Uzi or whatever it is. And there we go. And he says, shoot! So she shoots, then he immediately drops the gun. And then, a bit of suspension of disbelief as it just rolls down the stairs and just happens to kill all the bad guys who are just in a line. Oh dear, she's like, oh, all the bad guys getting killed. So there we go. That were cool. Go out, get some, shoot some more henchmen. He's going to get a flamethrower now. I don't know if this would work. Would it come out with enough force to do this? Don't know. Because he's using the petrol filler thing, for the boats and stuff. Or helicopter. I don't know. Would it come out like that? I don't know. Would it just blow up? Whatever. It's a film. Who cares? So he sets them all on fire. Blah, blah, blah. This chap fires a... what is it? Aziz? Yes, it is. Aziz fires a rocket launcher at him. There we go. And he's going to jump into the water. Whee! He thinks he's Steven Seagal in Under Siege. He did that, didn't he? With flames behind him. There he is. And I think Helen now thinks he's dead. Thinks Harry's dead. Anyway, Juno finds her. He says, my condolences to the widow. And then she slaps her across the face. Hang on, where are we? There we go. And cuts her. Because she had a ring on the other way. She turned a ring round earlier on. A wedding ring. Although that's not really a wedding ring, is it? I don't know. I thought wedding rings were just bands of gold. It's more like an engagement ring, isn't it? Well, whatever. They were going to kill her, but Aziz stops her and says, we may need a hostage. So they take Helen, put her in the limo. Aziz is going in a helicopter. And 2 trucks are heading out on whatever this is called. The Thingamabob Highway. I don't know what it's called. Does it say? I want to see if it says in here, so I'm not being an idiot. I've got locations, haven't I? 7 Mile Bridge in the Florida Keys, that's what it's called. Where else have we seen? I usually check the locations, don't I? The swimming pool was the Columbia Warner Brothers Ranch in Burbank, California. Not on a rooftop in Washington, D.C., which is weird. Where's the dam? Oh, the dam where they had Simon was the Hanson Dam on Lakeview Terrace, California. Ambassador Hotel was where they rode the horse through. Georgetown Mall. Helen Meets Simon was in Chinatown in Washington, it says, according to this. In the Chinese restaurant. It must have been an actual Chinese restaurant that we were in, and not a studio set. Anyway, yeah, 7 Mile Bridge it's called, they're on. Right, so the bad guys are going away. And so Arnie's coming out. Gib arrives with his gang. Says, I will brief you on the way. Anyway, some Harriers are coming now, Quest. Apparently, Quest says there are a lot of sharks under the 7 Mile Bridge. Okie dokie. Some US Marine Harriers are on the way. They're going to take out the bridge. Here they come. There we go, Harriers. Yay! Good old British aeroplanes, but Americans are using them. But anyway. Which I've seen combat in the Falklands, haven't they, Quest? Anyway, so here come the Harriers. Hang on, there's this bit here, by the way, where they fly by, the helicopter. Because the US Navy or whatever it was said, yes, we can give you 2 Harriers. They charged them a fortune for it. It did say to James Cameron how much the Harriers cost them. It was a lot of money. And they weren't supposed to. They were told, we can fly for safety. We can only fly so close, to the helicopter that Arnie and Tom Arnold are in. So they kept flying by, and then James Cameron said, "Can you come round again and be, a little bit closer?" So they said, "Okay," it was a little bit closer, and then he said, "Come on, can you just do it, and so we can see you?" So they came down and flew by, that close, which was probably very exciting for them. Did they get into trouble? I don't know, because they weren't supposed to get that close. Quest says the inferior AVHB Harriers that they struggle to fly. I don't know much about planes and stuff, but I do know that when they got the Harriers, from the British, they did struggle to control them, and they had to simplify the controls, didn't they, for their versions of the Harrier. But it was initially a British invention, wasn't it? The Hawker Harrier, an amazing plane, but really, really loud. I remember seeing an air show, really, really loud. Anyway. So the Harriers are on the way. There they are. And they're going to take out the... in a minute. There we go. Taking out the bridge and the guns and the trucks and stuff. They're going to fire some missiles in a minute. Going to take out the bridge. Oh, they fire a rocket at one of the Harriers and miss. Because he fires it the wrong way, doesn't he? Fires it the wrong way. Because he's stupid. Take out the bridge. Says, the missiles won't set off the nukes, will they? Says negative. And then he goes, oh. Like that. So they're going to fire missiles. They take out the bridge now. I'm guessing this is a model now. I don't think they actually took out the bridge. I'm guessing this is a model. It's a cool model. But there we go. There's a miniature, should I say. So taking out one of the trucks, and the other truck comes to a halt right on the edge. And they're all, ah! So it's like a recreation of the end of the Italian Job. Except in the Italian Job, they didn't have to deal with a pelican landing on the hood of the bus. Did they? So they're like, oh, we're okay. By the way, that's the battery as is, fella. So it's like, yeah, we're going to be okay. And then the pelican lands, and down they go. Ah. So they go down. Oh, hang on. And explode, obviously. So, meanwhile, luckily, the trucks were miles in front of the limo, and So, oh, well, they have a fight. She's got a gun on him. Grabs the gun, take out the fella there. There we go. Take him out. Shot him in the head. Bit gory. So the limo's out of control. So they're fighting, and she's beating up Tia Carrera. And down Arnie goes. He's going to get her. Harry, the bridge is out. What? The bridge is out. He looks round. The bridge is out. So this is a cool stunt. So there's a stunt man dangling and a stunt woman in the back of the limo, which took some doing, but they did do it. Hang on. There we go. They've got an actual stunt that they did drive it off the bridge, and they just timed it just right. Obviously, she's fastened with a harness to the other fella. She's more or less safe. Is the stunt woman, and then to get Jamie Lee Curtis, they just did the same thing with Jamie Lee Curtis and just dangled her from I presume a stunt man, and just flew her over the bridge. That's not Jamie Lee Curtis, but just where you can see her face. And she all found it very exciting. And then the Harrier jump jet lands. Quest says, I think the US Marines re-rated or regretted not getting the Harrier GR variant. I know bugger all about them, I don't know. But I know that I read somewhere that they simplified them so that their pilots could fly them properly. But anyway. Because they're used to flying on the other side of the road, the British ones. Anyway, so here we go, the other one's landing as well. So they're all getting ready. The nuke's going to go off, by the way. So they couldn't stop the nuke because they buried it in concrete. And so they just got everybody out of the way. The government's got everybody. Nobody's going to die, apart from some animals, I imagine. They're telling everybody, don't look at the flash, and they're going to have a nice kiss now, just as the nuke goes off. The nuke goes off. There we go. In the distance. Right, so, and that's what we see. That's Helen's story for now is over. They've got to go and get a Ziz. Excuse me. Now we learn that it's taken a hostage in a building. In the centre of town. I can't remember what town they're in. I've forgotten. I'll have to check on here. Miami. They're in Miami. Taken a hostage. Got Dana hostage. Remember they saw the photos. They went and grabbed Dana and got her hostage. And so Arnie's going to go and sort it out now. He's going to take a Harrier, and you're gonna have to sign for that plane. He says, "So have you got a pen?" There'd be more to it than that, wouldn't you? But anyway, so taking the Harrier, off he goes. Textbook takeoff. But anyway, he gets used to it. It's like riding a bike. Anyway, so he's on his way. Meanwhile, they've got another nuke in Miami. And obviously they've a list of demands and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. We go till our demands are met, and he puts the key. Just happens to sit her next to. We know she's a thief. Remember earlier on, she's got sticky fingers, hasn't she? And I don't mean the fella that played Blade in the TV series. He puts the key in the thing that blows up the bomb. Control unit. That's what I'll call it. And he's going to turn his back and not see what happens. Meanwhile, the video crew that they wanted is there, and there's a familiar face with the video crew in a minute, as we'll see. Anyway, Arnie's on his way in his Harrier jump jet. There we go. It's Faisal Grant Heslov, one of Harry's team. Anyway, he's doing his demands. He said, with one turn of that key. And they said, what key? And we see that Dana's nicked it and she's running off now. I still don't like her. I need to go to the bathroom. Shut up, you're a hostage. Shut up and be quiet. Anyway, so while that's going on, distraction, Faisal takes out the rest of the gang. 'Cause he's got a gun hidden in his camera. There we go. So his training took over. Kind of echoing what Simon said earlier on. Because he said earlier on, that the training kicked in. Just when they were lying to Helen, training about doing what Harry had done. So the training just kicked in. I didn't think. And this is kind of what happens here with Faisal. So I'm guessing this is the first time he's done this, in anger. Because he's new on Harry's team. So he just takes out the bad guys. His training paid off. So he takes them out. Because he goes, wow, go like that as well. Wow, I did it. Cool. Anywho, as is, and other henchmen are going after Dana. She's climbing a big crane for some reason. Why didn't she go down? I don't know. But anyway. She thinks she's Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, doesn't she? So, give me the key, child. Give me the key, he says like that. But he says, I'll drop it, I swear. But Harry's coming. Oh, Harry's going to sort out the baddies on a lower floor. And he takes them all out with the machine guns. Like that. Which is cool. By the way, it's they did kind of dangle a life-size mock-up, of the Harrier from this building. I don't think they actually blew up all the... Maybe they did, I don't know. I imagine there's some miniature work as well in there, but they did have a life-size mock-up that they did use with stuntmen on it, as we'll see in a minute. But anyway, sorry, Quest is educating us again. The RAF and Royal Navy wanted to find a way to modify the Harriers to be supersonic, but it was deemed cheaper by the government to wait and purchase the F-35B. It's not all about speed, is it? Why does it have to be supersonic? Don't need to be, does it? It did enough. It did well enough in the Falklands, didn't it? Showed its metal down there. But anyway, there she is hanging on. I'd have fallen to my death, to be completely honest. But anyway, Harry comes. Dana, jump down. I'll catch you. Daddy will catch you. That was my dad flying a plane. Why is she thinking? My dad sells computer equipment. Why is he built like Mr. Universe? But anyway, I don't know. And obviously that's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, is it? But anyway, so there he's shooting at the hell. That looks a bit poo, doesn't it? But anyway, this bit here, because originally in this scene, I think it was just supposed to land on the roof, and they're supposed to have all this exciting running about on the roof, shooting, all that. But and they had they used the crane. I think that crane there were actually used to lower the big the mock-up of the Harrier onto the building. And James Cameron said, why don't we just dangle it from the crane and film it from there and harness some stuntmen to it? It'll be completely safe. And that's what they did. To give it that verisimilitude. So that's what they did. So she drops down and all that, and he does as well. It's hanging on to her, but it's really dangling, hundreds of feet above the ground. Maybe not that bit, but the wide shots, there we go, like that. That's actually dangling from the crane. Is the mock-up. Anyway, it's fighting him on there. This cleaner, joke stuff. This clean. I don't think. Are they tough enough to reverse into a building and then just fly out again? There must be, because James Cameron wouldn't lie to us, would he? And there it goes, look. To just plummet to the ground, wouldn't it? But anyway, here he comes. He's got a gun, and he tells Dana to hold on, and he goes, dips the wing, and down he goes, lands somehow on a missile. Sorry, a missile. And he just looks and he says, oh, they just have to be lined up with the other baddies in their helicopter, and he fires the missile. You're fired. Should have got Donald Trump, shouldn't they, there to do that? But he says, you're fired. There we go. And fires him, and off he goes. And takes out that helicopter. Boom! And luckily, all the police get out of the way just in time. Right, so he lands. She's fine. She's safe, and she becomes off and becomes the other Slayer in Sunnydale or whatever the hell the town's called. But they've saved the day, and all the baddies are being killed, and all that stuff. Justin says this was perhaps Arnold's peak for movies. Terminator 3 and Eraser were good. Also, they came later. I like Terminator 3. I like all the Terminator films for what they are. Eraser were all right. And that other one as well. Sixth Day. I quite like Sixth Day as well. That was Arnie, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. The clones of him, wasn't it? Was it? Yeah, well, yeah. I can't remember now. Anyway, But yeah. All right, it was Sunnydale, yes. Right, so, and then we have a passage of time. There we go. 1 year later, it says. There we go. And they're all playing thumb war, because they're all, the perfect nuclear family now, because she's no longer the punk kid. She's all dressed nicely, and the hair's all nice. They're all, now play a thumb war, and Arnie's like getting a bit overexcited with his stupid face. Look, looks more like one of Rob Bottin's fake heads, doesn't it? Of Total Recall. Jesus. Anyway, the phone rings, and it's there. I'm guessing it's Gib. But it's still the distorted voice, and I don't know why. I don't know. We'll just.
Hello?
Doris and Doris?
We're on.
Why is it distorted? They distorted it before so that she wouldn't recognise them. So why? So whenever he got a phone call from work, Harry, was it always a distorted voice? I don't know. But anyway. Nuclear family from the radiation, yes, as they would say on that episode of The Young Ones, post-nuclear more likely. Sequel setup. They were actually going to do a sequel. He did this, and then I think he went on to Titanic after this, didn't he? Did James Cameron. And he said after that, they were thinking of doing a sequel to True Lies. But he said 9/11 happened, put the mockers on it, people didn't like stuff like that as much, straight after 9/11. So he went on and did other things. I think Avatar after that, didn't he? So, yeah, they were going to do a sequel, but I don't know anything about the story. But 9/11 stopped that. Anyway, where were we? So they're off. So now she's now a spy with him. She's now part of, I'm guessing, Omega Sector. And they're off to some ballroom somewhere. Here they are. There they are, look. And she says, oh, hang on, there we go. Hello, she says, hello, Colonel. So it's been busy in the last year. And he says, who's that? Echoing what happened to Arnie, Harry earlier on in the van. Faisal and Gib are in the van. I don't know who they're after. We don't know. So I haven't seen him yet. But they see somebody else. There he is. We see Simon chatting up some dolly bird. He's a waiter, and he's saying he's pretending to be a waiter because he's on a mission, so he's still carrying on trying to make out he's a secret agent. Bless him. Justin says, oh, pardon me. The last two Terminators were meh. Yeah, but I still enjoyed them for what they were. I didn't think they were amazing, but I thought they were all right. Sixth Day was good. It was all right, 'cause it had I forgot his name. He was in Space Above and Beyond. Only other thing I've seen him in. Rodney something or other. He was in Sixth Day, wasn't he? But this was his best movie, in my opinion. And then he went on to do Avatar after Titanic, didn't he? Yes. And did Avatar again. And I was going to do it again I like the Avatar films, though. I must admit. Those helicopter jets were cool. In Sixth Day, yes. Well, that's Sixth Day. I get them mixed up. Anyway, Simon's there, pretending to be a spy. So she goes over to him. He says, "Hello, Simon," and she gets He says, I'm going to do him right here. And he pees himself again. Just go for it. And I peed myself. And he goes running off. Probably with a big wet patch, tripping up over people. But it wasn't a gun she had, it was just a lipstick. So she popped some lipstick on. And now they've got to tango because the music comes on. Din din din. Or whatever. Says, no, not a tango. So they start doing a tango. There they are, dancing away. And then the credits come on, there we go. And then their tango kind of gets awkward if you watch it. We're not supposed to be really paying attention to them, I think, at this point. We're supposed to be reading the credits and listening to Gibb saying, Harry, stop tangoing, you've got a job to do and all that. But as we'll see in a minute, like I said, they're doing all that. And then, there we go. When it gets here now, it kind of gets a bit awkward, doesn't it? A bit, come dancing, look, just awkwardly getting up. But anyway, bless them. Bless them. And that's it, that's the end of the film. But then we have another little bit. Hang on, have we gone past it? Might have gone past it. Yeah, there we go. Tom Arnold, Gibb, says, I'm sick of being in the van. Next time you're going to be in the van. There you go. And then that's been in the van for 15 years, Harry. And that's the end of the film. Hang on, stop music. As I said, I think it's mostly, because it's Brad Fidel, mostly orchestral, electronic music. But I think for the themes and stuff, they've got some proper musicians in. Because if you look on IMDb, it does say musicians. If you scroll all the way down to music department, if I can find it, I should have left it there, shouldn't I? Loads of stuntmen on this, by the way. I've gone too far now because I'm stupid. There we go. Musicians. Brad Fidel, music performer. So on his keyboard. Din 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 din. Tom Boyd, musician, oboe. Who else? Tommy Johnson, no relation, I'm guessing. Tuba, Kenneth Carmen. Oh no. Arman Kazajikian. All right. The fella, the chauffeur with the massive face, who I said looked like on a Greek urn, is a musician. He played the cello, uncredited. Malcolm McNabb, trumpet, and William Schimmel just says musician. So I just had a few musicians in for the orchestral bits. So there we go. Justin says, Space Above and Beyond. Wow, that was the only one that saw that. Space Above and Beyond is amazing. It's a disgrace that it only got one season because it ended on a cliffhanger. Anyway, should have made Paxton a spy also. Maybe that'd have been in the sequel. That'd have been cool, wouldn't it, if they'd got him in. They made Jamie one. Would have been perfect, yes. They should have had a sequel, shouldn't they? And made Simon part of the team. Brought him in. Great movie. It is. It's one of those movies that you forget how good it is. A bit like a while ago when I did Aliens. It'd been a while since I watched Aliens, and we all know it's amazing. But you kind of forget, don't they? And then you watch it again. If you haven't watched it for a while, you think, I'd forgot how amazing that film is. But anyway, Quest says, I love Space Above and Beyond. I watch it every year. I haven't actually seen it for a while. Hey, I've got a perfectly legally acquired copy. But it's also in my Amazon wish list. It's on DVD. You can get it on Amazon for DVD, and I don't want to shell out like 20 odd quid for it because I'm tight. But anyway, so that's the end of True Lies. As I said, there was no sequel. They did plan a sequel, but it never came to fruition thanks to 9/11. But never mind. But True Lies, great film, and it shows that James Cameron could have done a Bond film like that, couldn't he? Because that was a really good, exciting film with a great script. People knock him a bit, James Cameron, but he knows how to do a good, exciting script. I mean, they're not the most original things in the world, but they are fun. And he is a good script writer, in my opinion. Anyway, Quest says it's on the same list as Firefly for me to watch every year. That's another one. I like Space Above and Beyond more than Firefly. I did enjoy Firefly, you know, but I think Serenity's amazing. We're going to do that one day. Yeah. Anyway, Justin says Space was good, hated it, had one season. Does anyone remember Brimstone? No, I didn't see that one. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Was part of that Fox lineup. And Quest, every 2 or 3 years I'd watch Earth 2. I've not seen that one. I've not seen Earth 2. And others. But Earth 2, the Gene Roddenberry one. I think it was, wasn't it? But I've not seen it. With John Saxon, is it? I've not seen it. I don't think. But anyway, right. So there we go. We're all done. We're all done. Done and dusted. Go and watch True Lies this instant. Because it is amazing. I really like one of my favourite James Cameron films. It is up there with Aliens as his best films, in my opinion. And Terminator 2. Justin says Cameron is very good, but he's a bit of a hothead. Because it's kind of, he's got that confidence that he knows he can do everybody else's job. Because he can't he? He can do everybody else. So he's like, I know what I want, and if you can't do it, I can do it for you, if you know what I mean. But anyway, Ed Harris was ready to punch him out. Yes, he was, yes. Yes, because he knows what he wants, doesn't he? He's one of those, kind of an old-fashioned director, I suppose. If he were like from the 40s and 50s, he'd have like wing pants, wouldn't he? And a beret and a big megaphone. Action! Be one of them sort of directors, wouldn't he? Back in the day. But he's more than a hothead, but I'm being nice. Well, yeah. And he's Canadian. I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice, but James Cameron, as I said, is a bit of a hothead on set. But it's because he knows what he wants, and he wants to get his film made and all that. And he can do everybody's job, because he came from, the Roger Corman school of filmmaking, where everybody just gets on with it, don't they? But anyway, right, so we're all done and dusted. So we will leave it there. So that's another week over. What's coming up next? What day? On Monday. Wednesday, I'll be doing my top 5 favourite films of... I've forgotten what we're up to. Is it 1994? I can't remember. So let me check. Where's my list? What are you asking that for? Why don't I just delete all the previous ones instead of just putting a strike through? Because I'm stupid. Gone too far. Yes, we're on 1994. So that'll be on Wednesday, fingers crossed. Top 5 favourite movies and several dozen honourable mentions. Friday, we're finishing off... Where have I put it? Friday, we're finishing off Hammer House of Horror. So we're on part 6 of that. So with the last 3 episodes, that's what they're called, I've forgotten. That's on Friday. And next Monday, I've got to work this out now. I've set up some appointment with Fears for the next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. On June the 13th, I think. No, not June the 13th. June the 16th. Yeah, on June the 16th, we're doing Jaws for Magnificent Monday. Because it's the anniversary, the 50th anniversary of Jaws this year. And we're going to do it on June the 20th, which is a Friday. But we're doing House on that day. So, and the anniversary is on the 20th of June. But I'll do it on the Monday. I'm going to do it as a horror, because a lot of people class Jaws as a horror film, don't they? I've never have, but anyway, never mind. We're doing it on Monday, so that's on 20th. And then I think the one before, well, that'll be the... what did I say, 16th? That's on the, not 20th, 16th. And then 12, 11. And then on the 9th, yeah. So next week, yeah, that is 9th. It's 2nd, isn't it, today? Yes. So next week, on Magnificent Mondays, we're doing the Wild Geese. I got a DVD of it. I did try to get a Blu-ray, but they were really expensive, so I'm not paying for that. So I got a DVD instead. Richard Burton, Roger Moore, Richard Harris, and many, many more amazing films. So that's next week. As I said, Jaws the week after that. We're doing on Friday the 13th of June. We're doing Friday the 13th Part 3, and then after that we're doing House in memory of George Wendt. Right, so that's that. Right, where Quest says, so I'd catch up on the chats. Quest, great stream as always. Thank you very much. I do my best. I'm not very good, but I do my best. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Explore the description for all the links for stuff. Buy some merch, etc. And all that palaver. Getting hammered on Fridays. Are you? Oh, right. That's obviously a reference to something. I don't know what. Oh, Hammer House of Horror. Yes. Oh, yes, tell you. I got there, didn't I? I got there. Will you be watching Predator, Killer of Killers on Saturday? I don't know. Is it going to? It'll be on. Is it going to be on Disney? It'll be on Disney Plus, won't it? Probably. I saw a clip for it, and I thought I don't like that animation. It's kind of a little bit like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sort of animation, a little bit jerky, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, probably. I'll probably watch it at some point. It's always fun. I had a nightmare from last Friday's stream. Be serious. Oh, crikey. I hope it didn't scare you. Steve, shoot me. Shoot me, Alan. Where's the boat? I've got my new channel. Windgrace reminding me. I've got a new channel, TOYG Music, TOYG Music. That old Yorkshire gets me. Just where I put my music videos that I do. I write the lyrics and stick it in an AI music maker thing. Yes, Wild Geese. Yes, it is, yes, of course. When they're in the plane. Spoilers when they're in the plane at the end. Yes, it is very sad. I hate his kid. Richard Harris's kid does my head in in that film. Oh, I'm so excited. But anyway, we'll get there that's next Monday. Oh, dear. Right, so I'm going now. Got to sort out some supper, although he doesn't like that word, I don't know why, for that lad upstairs. And for me, I'm starving. Shame Wild Geese 2 sucked. I've only seen the first one. I've never seen any of the others. Well, they're just 2. I'm sure there were 3. Whatever, I don't know, but I've not seen the others. I've only seen the first one. Right, so I'm going to go now. So thanks, Quest, Melvin, and Windgrace, and Justin, and did anybody else pop in? No, Josh Temple tonight. Probably working. And you know, we haven't seen for a while. Joshua Kanapke. I hope he's okay. I'm going to have to check on him and see if he's okay. Maybe he's just moved on, which happens. Right, so thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. I'll have to do some news at some point, aren't I? I haven't done any news for a while, but we'll see if anything happens. I was going to do a thing about Doctor Who and all that, what's happened with that, but I didn't watch this season, so I thought, I can't be bothered. Don't care. I hate it when people just disappear from YouTube. You never know. I know, I always worry about people. Anywho, right, I'm going. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, hang on, get sorted. There we go. And until next time, I'll say the... Oh.